Greetings YouTube, this is Yvette and welcome to our channel. This is the channel where we are blessed of God. We walk in His commandments and we are made righteous through Him, and we honor and adore Yeshua and we share Him with other people. So part of what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing my content. So I don't make very many videos because I was up in the air on whether or not I should just do the content on one channel or have another channel. And so my niece Marlene told me, no, just put it all on the same channel. So that's what I'm going to do, because really as believers we need to have this. So we're talking about being prepared. So we want to be like the the parable of the 10 virgins. We want to be like the 5 wise ones. So God is giving us all kinds of signs these days that we're going to have food shortages. There's going to be things happening and we have to be prepared. So COVID was a very nice example of how we could run out of food no matter how much money you have. It didn't matter. You could only buy a certain amount of stuff at the store if there was stuff on the shelves, but the shelves were bare. And then last year, Texas had an issue where they had a blackout. There was no food. It was hard to get water. Gas was difficult. And so, listen, it'll start happening again. So we want to be prepared. So right now, today I'm going to talk about how we process our rice. Now we did this before, but this time I kind of changed what I'm doing, because what I was doing was putting the rice in the oven. And so I have this large pan that I use. This is one of the pans that I was using to put things in the oven. And I do have a stainless steel pan that I actually use. And then I poured it in this pan because it cools down easier. But what was happening was initially in the first video, I was putting things on 215 degrees, taking way too long. Then I put it up to 220, 230, 235, 240. I ended up being at 260 degrees, and I would put the rice in the oven and let it cook off, kill the potential bug eggs that have been left in food, because they do get in your food. In a food facility, if you've ever been at a food factory, they have a huge place. There's no way to keep bugs out. There's no way to stop flies. There's no way to stop gnats and anything. So they're getting in rice and beans and dried food like wheat, pancake mix, cereals, all that kind of stuff gets bugs in it laying their eggs. And so all it does is take a season for those eggs to hatch out. So what we want to do is we want to stop them. So when I use the oven, it's an all-day process, not to mention how much electricity I'm using. So this time I decided, I watched the video and I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. There's a guy on there and he's doing a blow dryer. And I'm like, that is ridiculous, because you would blow dry the rice all over the place. And you certainly couldn't do flour and pancake mix like that, and things like cornmeal. You could not do that. So I thought, you know what, a heat gun, but he's onto something. And the other thing is the blow dryer doesn't get hot enough. So I bought a heat gun on Amazon. This is a Genesis, and it's a dual temperature model where it gets 572 degrees or 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to use it at 572, the lower degree, because I don't have to do much to process. So today, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm going to actually open up some rice. And these are just bags of rice that I get that I put into a larger container, a food grade 5-gallon bucket container, so that it goes in once it cools. So this is the first time I'm doing this. So you guys are going to see this right now. So I'm going to position this camera so that we can watch what I'm doing. I'm going to pour it and use the heat gun. So I'm going to turn the Genesis on, and it has 2 settings. One is 1 bar, and the other one, the hotter temperature, is 2 bars. So I'm going to put it on the lower temperature, and it's quiet. And actually, it's hot. It's getting warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some rice in. And I could do this whole bag because it's not really that much. I'm going to spread it out. And I'm going to take the heat gun, and I'm just actually, I see what I did. I forgot to get myself a spoon. I'm going to get a wooden spoon. But I'm just going to pass the heat gun back and forth. And just get this hot enough to kill off any bug eggs. This is so much easier, and it's almost done. And actually, it's not hot, so it's gonna have to go. I wonder what happens if I put it on 1,000. I'm gonna try 1,000 and see if that goes even faster. But before I do that, I'm gonna sit this down and I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon just so I can stir. Aha! Yeah, because this is not hot. So I'm gonna try 1,000, see what happens. That's hot, but it's not burning. I just wanted to heat up the rice. And the rice is not hot. And it's not burning either. First of all, this is going to take less time and less electricity. It's still not hot rice. This is actually done. All right, our rice is hot. It's been processed. That was 5 minutes, you guys. Way better than the oven. And it goes faster. Now I just have to wait for this to cool down. And I'm gonna put it in a white bucket, a 5-gallon bucket with the other rice. It'll cool down, and this is processed because if there were bugs in here, they're dead now because this is hot. And I think I like the 1,000 degree because it's not burning it. It's basically just heating up the rice hot enough to kill the eggs if there's any. This is easy, you guys. This is way easier. So I'm done with the whole oven thing. I'll just do it this way. But for the flour, cornmeal, wheat, or pancake mix, that kind of stuff, I'm going to put that in the oven because if I was blowing that around, it'd be a whole big old mess. So that's what I'm going to use the oven for, those finer grains. But really, in the perfect sense, I probably do wheat berries and then get a manual grain mill so that I can just grind my wheat when I need it. And then I would process the wheat berries the same way, but not finished wheat. But it just so happened that I got flour that was given to me, so I have so much of it. I probably have like 80 pounds of flour that I need to process, but that'll go in the oven. But this is so much easier. Get a heat gun. I think I paid like $20 or $30 for this. Well worth it. And it's smoking. I don't know why, because this little thing is hot. I'm sure it is. I'm not gonna touch it. All right, I'm gonna sign off And let's get to processing our rice and our beans, our wheat berries, grains like pastas would be great to do this way. Okay? All right, take care. Bye-bye.